I mean, where the fuck should I really even start?
Well, that was short. I was like,
right?
Hey guys, we got Brandon back. Woohoo!
What's up?
All
Okay,
right, so
today we're going to be diving into Epique and what people are saying on Reddit about Epique. And you have 3 Epique agents who have been with the company for at least a year and a half. I'm going on 2 years. None of us have any plans on leaving. We love this company. So we're in Georgia, Florida, and Colorado. So you're getting people from all over the country talking to you about Epique and their experiences. So Holly.
all right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about. So I just asked ChatGPT, what are the top criticisms of Epique Realty, and here's what I got. So number 1, operational and administrative issues. So several agents report slow or delayed payments after closing.
Okay, can we talk about them one-on-one as we come up?
Yeah, let's go. Let's hit this one.
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
So in Florida, what I can say.
Hold on. Are you a title-based state? Because I think that matters too.
Yes.
You're attorney or title-based? What about you? Attorney. Okay, so I'm a title-based state. So we have 2 different scenarios too.
So in the beginning, when I first started with Epique, there were some delay in payments. That came down to systems, right? We were a company that went from 500 agents to over 1,000 agents literally in 3 months. The systems did not keep up with the agent count as fast as we grew. Now, 18 months later, almost 20 months later, in Florida, I can speak for, I have heard of no payment issues, at least in the last 6 months. Our systems are in place. We now have 2 brokers. Both of them are amazing. They're making sure that they stay on top of things. CDAs are returned in literally 24 hours. So in Florida, yes, there was a problem that has been remediated.
Yeah, I can talk too, because I remember there was an agent who he was in my upline and he left and made a big fuss about it. And you know how it goes on social media. People start looking everywhere and calling people out. And, there's always that one or 2 agents that are, just running their mouth without having any actual details. I agree. Initially, they're in Colorado. I've had, I wouldn't say payment issues, because once I get the CDA, we're paid at the table. So it really depends on the title company on any delays there. But I've been working with the CDA department and the company to figure out, like, hey, how can we make this process better? And I didn't say I've been doing this, but the company's been doing this. I've just been bugging them and poking them on my end. And what happened is, like you said, the system's changed. Now we went from, oh goodness, I'm not even remember the name we had before. Dotloop? Was it Dotloop before?
We did. Even before Dotloop, there was something else.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't matter. We're with SkySlope. So SkySlope now is a better holistic system for managing everything. And now we also have a better CDA process to initiate that. So once your SkySlope's up and once you initiate your CDA, I literally had my CDA fully signed in 24 hours for an upcoming closing. So honestly, there hasn't been any issues now that they've changed the system. So, I mean, hey, we'll tell it like it is. Like, yes, there were issues before, but like any growing company, there's going to be issues. But now it's fixed. So,
and that is one thing that's super cool about being one of the founding members of the company, like we all are, is our leaders actually listen, and they listen to feedback from the agents, and they work to improve the systems. And if you know that going into Epique and you're willing to ride the wave, it's just a beautiful journey. But you have to know that coming into it, that we're a startup company and there's going to be hills and valleys.
Yep.
I really haven't been affected by any payment issues, honestly. The only issue because we get paid at the table here in Georgia, so that's pretty common. I prefer just a paper check at the table. Is my preference. And then the only thing I will say is we have had a lot of problems in Epique with snail mail, USPS going to the wrong places, or I don't know if it goes to like some unmanned PO box that like isn't being properly checked, because there is a backlog of Epique payments that they're kind of seem to be really addressing that big time right now. I know in our state, our broker's been like big on this whole like, don't even do snail mail anymore. Like, don't just wire. Basically, that just wiring is the best. And I'm really big about like, hey, wire. It's the instructions. You know,
a lot of times the title and attorney, they don't read the actual CDA.
And in a closing table, I'll still get sometimes the check. I'm like, I don't want this. Like, I'm not going to drive around and deposit their check into. No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Like, you need to wire the money. Like, I'm not touching that money. So that's the only thing I will say. Like, we've had more issues with, but I really haven't had an issue getting paid.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let's go to number 2. Follow through. Number 2 is follow through and execution gaps. A common theme is that promises made during recruitment or onboarding aren't always fully delivered in practice, leading some agents to feel benefits or support were overpromised and under-delivered.
Ooh, this is a good one. I like this
So
one.
I think really, and I think that goes for any attraction model, if you will, you have to be careful about who you're talking to. Are you talking to somebody that is in production, or are you talking to somebody that is solely focused on agent attraction? Because you're going to have a different experience. I also think that who you align yourself with locally does matter. And I know some people can argue that point. And I know that we're all in the same family tree and we're in multiple states and we work on things to have something on a national scale. But if you're somebody that needs more handholding and need more local guidance, and you might not want to go with the person that initially introduced you to Epique, you might want to interview a couple people and then see who is the best fit for you. It's not always about the person who first introduces you to a company, and this goes for any agent attraction model, but who you relate to the most. I don't know, Brandon.
Yeah. Sorry. A couple of thoughts. One, I totally agree that you need to figure out who you're going to align with, right? Just because someone introduces you first doesn't mean you have to go with them, right? This is you're running a business ultimately, and you need to treat that as such. So if you're looking to grow your business, just like my wife and I, we want to surround ourselves by like-minded people. The same thing when you run a business, you want to surround yourself by, wow, I can't talk today, by like-minded people. And you don't always have to be, I don't see loyal, because just because you heard it from someone, that person might get upset. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure you're taking care of what you need and getting the right answers. I do have an example. We had an agent just recently who came over to Epique and now has recently left. The reason why is that the person that attracted this agent said that they could do property management. He's like, oh yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get it, it's fine. We'll get it sorted. And when I hear that, it absolutely drives me crazy, because they're recruiting. They're not attracting, right? And that's a huge difference.
And you're going to lose that person. So why
exactly.
even do that?
That person became one of my mentees as an area leader. This person had tons of experience in the industry, and they're like, wait a minute, I can't do property management. And honestly, you got to do your own research as well. So like, they should have known better that most brokerages don't do property management. Like, that takes two separate entities organizationally. But if you don't know, and you're a new agent and you're just getting started, you're like, hey, I want to do a little bit of everything maybe. And someone tells you, yeah, you could do that. We'll figure it out. You need to ask those hard questions. And honestly, anybody can email support@epiquerealty.com. Email your questions directly to the company if you're not sure. And furthermore, as I'm trying to articulate here, ICA, always read your ICA. ICA.epiquerealty.com. It is very clear. It is easy to read. It's actually kind of cool. It's not just a regular document. They made it like you can type in and ask questions and things like that. So yeah, that's all I got to say on that.
Okay, so on this, for me, you guys know I don't like the Kool-Aid rah stuff very much. Yeah, it kind of turns me off. And I do think we do inflate some of our benefits. Every company does that though.
Absolutely.
It's whatever. I get it. But there are certain things
92 to choose from.
Right. I mean, actually, some of the benefits are underplayed, like mental health benefit. Like,
the health benefit is highly underplayed.
Yeah.
And the child care benefit is highly upplayed. So it's
mental health benefit is really good. The fact that we get so many free prescriptions is pretty cool. The health care, I think, is a little overplayed. The plan, you know how I feel about that. That's whatever. Like, I don't even believe in
you have to know what you're actually getting in return. That's the key. The devil's in the details. So like the healthcare piece, I've had questions about this from other people. I'm like, look, it's a copay platform. You can increase what you're asking for, but at the end of the day, it's still cheaper than traditional healthcare plans if it's not with your company that also is offsetting some of those costs.
And it's not health insurance. I think people
it's not
get
health insurance, right?
Just
like
the health insurance component.
Yeah.
But the health care that's free is preventative, virtual, primary care. That's really what it is. And I do use it. And I really like the doctor that I actually see. So, I mean, it's fine, but it's not like when you say free healthcare, people think you're getting free health insurance.
Well, and like I had the flu last week and I was literally laid up in bed, could not move, and did my telemed appointment. And in an hour, a doctor called me and wrote me a prescription. All of that, my husband went and got it. And I wouldn't have had
free prescriptions.
And free prescriptions. So I wouldn't have had that option. I would have had to go into a walk-in clinic. It would have cost me $175. Plus it probably would have cost me another $50, $60 for the prescriptions. Being with Epique, I was able
to. It just reminds me, I'm not utilizing that enough because I could have done that with my kiddos. He had the flu. We needed medicine. Although I do have the VA, so I'm covered most of it, but it's really nice to not have to jump through those VA hoops.
Well, our dependents are all free. So I have my husband and my two boys on the plan. When when Aiden got stung by a bee, I did an emergency care appointment. We were on the phone with the doctor in an hour and she wrote a prescription. It's like so amazing.
Yeah. And I think too, just to kind of cap on that question though, is we have like this huge repertoire of benefits and options. You can't think like, oh, I'm going to use every single one of them. Like all these benefits are just there to support your lifestyle and your business and how you live your life. So if it aligns, great. If not, I'm sure there's other things that do align, right? So that's how I look at it. People are like, oh, well, this one is like, it's not meant to be the end all be all for each and every benefit, right? So.
And one last thing with that, I do think also it depends on your area. Like we were talking about this before we got on the call. If you're in a more rural area where there's not a ton of Epique agents, then you might not have free photography or yard sign installation or signage, things like that. So I think managing expectations is really important. Now, could you be the leader in building out an area in a demographic? Absolutely. And you could reward a lot of benefits from that. But again, you just kind of have to know that going in, that some benefits are based on your location.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. But I just think when we're talking to people one-on-one, we should be really honest. When they ask us about a benefit, like be straight up. Like I don't even personally think we should be saying free healthcare. Or sorry, free childcare, for example. It's a $250 annual credit.
Yeah. But they do pay for the monthly fee, which is nice, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But I agree. It's not completely free.
Yeah.
No. That's going to go quick if you're actually using it.
Yeah. It's literally like 10 hours maybe. Okay. So number 3, growing pains and leadership concerns. Some reviews cite growing pains as the company expands, including inconsistency in management quality and leadership experience across regions. A few people comment that inexperienced people are put in leadership roles.
Yeah, this is a good one. It's a good one. Go ahead, Holly. You go first on this one.
I mean, I think let's start with, I mean, the obvious, easy, low-hanging fruit is going to be the area leader program, which, you know, when it was first launched, I think they were kind of taking anyone and anyone that you know, anyone and everyone that raised their hand.
Yeah.
And there were definitely people that you were kind of like scratching your head. You're like, that person's going to teach other people? like what? Now it seems like they're getting really intense about it. I tried to get in and I haven't been approved. But you know, now they're like, there's going to be some pretty serious training involved, and it's going to be a lot harder to be an area leader. But yeah, there's still some people in certain positions where you're just like asking yourself, like, wow, they don't really, I don't know, like, are they really prepared for that? I think they should all be brokers personally. But Alana, what do you think?
You know, I agree with that 100%. I even brought that to our brokers. I really think that everybody should be a broker associate or have so many years tenure or have done so many transactions in a period of time. Because yes, there are some people that are being area leaders that should not be. I was an area leader for 18 months or so, and I had some family things where I had to step back from the role. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Stepping back when you needed to.
But I stepped back when I needed to. And, you know, I think the person that I recommended to take my position is going to do a great job. But again, I think from a liability standpoint, it would be most advantageous for the brokerage to have people with certain tenure transactions done, or you're a broker associate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think our area leader program is the best support training system there is in all of real estate, in my opinion. With that being said, absolutely agree. It is absolutely personal or, you know, relationship based, or certain people don't jive together. Like I have an agent out of Virginia who joined, and their area leader, you know, communication styles don't align. So for me, I absolutely agree. This, you know, you should have, just because you have 30 years in real estate does not make you a good leader. It does not make you a good communicator. It does not make you a good educator. You know, resourceful, teaching people how to fish versus feeding them, like all these things. That's why I think they implemented the new 8-week leadership program, which I've heard great things about. I'm sure there's mixed reviews. It's the second iteration going on right now. I do plan on taking that. And I do think that is valuable. For me personally, coming from a military background, I take for granted a lot of these character you know, maybe flaws or whatnot. And be like, hey, this is normal for you to do, but it's not normal for everybody. So I do think setting up the company for success, because we're talking with agents who are actually doing the work versus like they're just having a bird's eye view from leadership standpoint. They need to definitely, and they're doing the right things. They're putting the leadership program in place. They're being more strict on who's doing what. So yeah, we've had issues for sure. I had issues when I came on with certain, you know, individuals, and we talked about it and we got it sorted, and now it's improved, right? So it's like any company, there's going to be like our no asshole policy, like there's going to be people that should not be in a particular position, and that's in every industry. So at some point we do have to be like, hey, like we have to work with what we have. But you have so many other support systems, you know, the training and whatnot. So anyway, yeah.
All right, last one. You have your sponsors too, you know, that can help, and then you grow your own community. So I think it all plays a part, but I do agree with you that the area leader role has come a long way, and it is bar none better than anything I've ever seen at any other brokerage I've been at.
All right, last one. Number 4 is complexity of benefits. Although many agents praise the breadth of benefits offered, some say that the benefit structure can be hard to navigate or understand fully, especially for newer agents trying to leverage everything available.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Brandon, you take this one.
Go. Okay. So first of all, they've already changed our cloud. So our back end, we have an app, we have the online browser. They've already improved that. There's some improvements to be made still, but it does make it a little easier to find things before you're like, if I don't know that this exists, how do I know to be able to leverage it for my business? Part of that is on the agent to just go into your system and click in buttons. It's like, I don't know how to use SkySlope. Well, let me go click buttons, right? At the end of the day, you need to be proactive and go look for that information. But I agree, it needs to be a little bit easier to consume, especially with so many. So now they've done a better job at transitioning over to a new platform. And like I tell agents when they either join or like I'm their area leader, like, hey, like you don't have to use every benefit. Let's focus on what you need now. And as you progress and you need things, let's bring them in. That you don't have a listing, don't worry about Zillow Showcase right now. Like you have a buyer. Okay, let's look at your different search tools or different things that you can provide for your clients as support. The Canva Pro Premium, the graphic, things like that you can give them guides and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely come a long way, but we're still early. So that's why I get excited. I'm like, they're doing all this and we're still like the bell curve. Like we're over here. Right? It's crazy to think that.
I'm excited about the new platform. I know it's not fully completed yet, but like getting in there, it definitely is a way better layout. The last one was kind of clunky, honestly. I mean, it was nice to have one app that everything's in.
Once you figured it out, it was fine, but it's not intuitive by any means on most sides. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do hope that, I know we talk a lot about being, an AI brokerage. I sometimes am like, but where is the AI?
Okay, I mean, now we have to talk because it's there. It's easy to find.
I mean, what do you
want to pull up your back end? What's that?
Eric AI?
No, that's not fully implemented yet.
So I think we need to have a whole nother episode just on you walking us through all the Epique AI.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, because
let me
like Eric literally doesn't know the answer to any of my questions. Like,
okay, let me back up for a minute before I find myself in a hole here. Okay. All right, so
don't go to Eric.
Options. Think you're an agent and you walk in and you have your back end, right? You have a ton of resources. Is it the only resources you're going to use in your business? No. Right? You're going to use ChatGPT. You're going to use Grok. You're going to use Perplexity. You're going to use whatever you feel comfortable with. The idea is that it's not now meant, because they're improving it. It's now meant to end all be all. Like you only have to use this AI part. So I think having all those resources in like AI headshots they're kind of nice, but they kind of end up crazy at sometimes too. Like I think it's also part of like AI improving. But once they have like Eric 2.0, we'll just talk about it real quickly, is that will be something you can just talk back and forth. It can be a video avatar of your area leader or your broker. You can ask questions 24/7. It's not meant to like answer all your AI problems or solutions, whatever. It's meant to be like a nice resource. That's Eric, right? And then you do have a lot of the other features, which I don't use all those. So yeah, it's there for you to use, but it's not the best.
Yeah, right? Like I'm excited about it. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'm like, okay, but can you like?
Well, when you said you don't know where to find it, that's where I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's find it.
I know where, like, I know the AI hedge. Anyway, we should probably do a whole thing. Maybe we should get somebody from corporate that is actually. We should find out who's in charge of the AI or what is the think tank we're doing, or the
labs.
Labs.
Yep.
Yeah, we should find out who's in charge of labs and maybe get.
I will say, like, let's like bring up a negative, maybe not a negative, but like, hey, a work in progress thing. I do think some of the ideas they have that they're implementing, it's nice to know about in advance, but it's kind of, you're like, well, I can't use this for another how long? We don't know, right? They put it out there. They're going to use it. It's great to hear about it. Like when we said, hey, we're open in all 50 states, we weren't truly open in all 50 states. I believe now we may be. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I get getting people the hype like behind it is absolutely important. And where I stay loyal to the company is because there's not a single day that they haven't put their money where their mouth is, and they haven't executed on things they actually are bringing to the table. So it might take some time, but it's always panned out. And some things don't pan out there, and they're great. They're like, hey, we did it. Okay. And we're still early, so they're still figuring out what to do. So that's where I kind of like, hey, it's not perfect, but
I think with that is also, we need to remember, and listeners, viewers need to remember, that like all of our stuff that is being built is in-house from our own organization and leadership and people. So we're literally building it out. We're not paying AI companies to come and build our systems out. We're in-house building these things out. And that's why we're able to offer so many benefits. And our budget is different because we don't have the overhead that all these other brokerages have, because they're outsourcing their tech, where all of our tech is insourced. So no, it may not be perfect, but I'm patient because, like with anything in life, it's progress over perfection. You've got to get it out, and you've got to get people using it to know where it needs to be improved. I mean, just like with the virtual staging, it's not always perfect, but we have it. And the more we use it, the more they'll be able to go in and perfect it.
True. Snapshots.
All right. Cool.
Back in time. If you look, sorry, one last thought. If you look at like a snapshot back in time to where we were, and they were like, oh, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And we're still saying it's not perfect, but it's leaps and bounds better than it was. And now you start, if you take yourself out of the company, you start looking at other companies, you're like, well, they're staying stagnant. So they're still doing things, and some of those things might be great. There's great brokerages out there, right? We're not the end all be all for everyone. So I just think, having that in mind, and, managing expectations for agents, I think is huge for making sure we're on the right track. So that's all I got.
All right, great. Well, let's leave it there. I know you got to run and do your luncheon, Brandon, but thanks for coming on. And listen, if any of the executives are listening to us, I take it all back. Eric he's a oracle from the Matrix. He knows all.
He knows all. I think Eric, if it's executed the way I think it'll be a game changer. Like we were talking about, hey, I need you to write a contract for these clients. Here's the things I need in the contract. And then you get home and there's an email there with your contract pre-written. Like, okay, now we're talking.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be Epique.
For sure. All right. Peace out. Thanks again for joining. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Lonnie.
Hi, guys.
Y'all have a good day. Call us if you have any questions. Brandon is up in Colorado Springs. So if you're in that neck of the woods, definitely reach out to him or Holly or Alana. We can all answer your questions. I just refer to myself in the third person.
I was like, all right. Holly, who's Holly? No, I'm just kidding.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's today's rant, friends.
If you loved it, share it.
And if you hated it, share it anyways. See you next week.